I'm Ron and I'm back again, you know already, but this time with a preview of Toronto FC at Seattle Sounders, which is happening on Saturday, CenturyLink Field, 3 o'clock Central Time, 4 o'clock Eastern. You know what it is. You know what it is. First off, Toronto is coming off a draw, a 2-2 draw against Chicago Fire. Seattle's coming off a 1-0 win over Real Salt Lake. Seattle is coming into this game with 4 wins, no losses, and 1 draw. And Toronto FC is coming into this game with 3 wins and no losses and 1 draw. This is the match of the unbeatens. Not as big as LAFC versus Toronto, but at least at this point, a match of the unbeatens. Somebody, well, I guess you may not. You could both could walk out unbeaten, but it's very unlikely. So, fifth game of the season for TFC, 6th for the Sounders. Toronto FC are coming in with 2 injuries, possibly that could take these players out of the game this weekend. Alrol with a hamstring injury that kept him out of last game. And Drew Moore has an injury. He's doubtful for this game, but I don't think they're going to play him unless he feels like it, but I don't think so. So, Seattle Sounders, let's talk about them. They're a very good team, very good players. They have a lot of good players on their team. Roman Torres, Loidero, Rui Diaz, Jordan Morris, Roldan. They have a lot of good players. Kim Ki-hee is also another one. They have a lot of good players. This is the match that I've wanted to see. This is the match that I'm ready for. And I know, oh yeah, don't forget Stefan Fry. Before I say PTSD, don't forget Stefan Fry, because that man is always a good goalkeeper, especially for them. He wasn't as good for TFC, but I guess he matured and got into his prime. Is that what it is? You could say. But Toronto FC going in unbeaten. Seattle Sounders going in unbeaten. It's like the helmets clashing on Monday Night Football. It's going to be a big game. Are you ready for some football? A Saturday afternoon party. Who wrote these lyrics? Of course I had to make that joke. And it works. Because soccer is football. It works. But I think we knew what the joke was, but if you didn't understand, you understand now. Laugh. But, as we said, Toronto FC are going into this game unbeaten. Seattle's going into this game unbeaten. This is going to be a very, very good game. Very good match. And honestly, I do think Toronto has the edge in this match. Why? Because Seattle has... No team has seen Alejandro Pozuelo. But, honestly, the way I see it, even if our defense can't play more, I do think Alejandro Pozuelo will have a better game in this game. Because I don't think the Sounders are going to try to make a very low block in Toronto's end. And also, I don't think they're going to try to kick him down. Like, just try to kick him down and injure him like the Fire did. The Fire played reprehensible tactics because all they did was kick down Pozuelo and try to make sure he didn't do a thing. That is wrong. That is reprehensible. I do know this about the Seattle Sounders. I don't think they would go to those tactics. They're not a bad team trying to salvage a draw. They are a very good team. Brian Schmetzer, I don't think, would go down to those tactics. And honestly, I think Pozuelo will have a better game because of it. Now, the thing I'm most afraid of from the Sounders, on the other hand, is their defense is still good. There are no slouches. There are no slouches. And by the way, they didn't have the midweek game that they should have had because it got postponed by the blizzard in Colorado, which means they did not have the midweek game, so they're not as tired. They're not just right off a game unlike us. We're both on equal footing, which kind of makes this game a little bit tougher, which I'm fine with that. And also, their defense are still no slouches. Their defense is still great. I'm not saying they're going to put a low block on us, but I still think their defense is going to do very well. TFC, I think they will attack very well. I don't think they're going to park the bus. Even away, they don't really park the bus much. And I'll do another part, like another half to this video after I finish with this part. So I'm trying to get through this quick. So, my projected 11 for TFC tomorrow are, I think Quentin Westberg will get this game in goal. I don't know why, but something tells me Quentin Westberg is going to get this game in goal. I think we should put him in goal. 1, we need to see him. 2, if the Sounders do attack, Bono, he's better this year than he was last year, but I'm kind of afraid of him having a stinker. So, Westberg in goal. The back 4, and you're going to have to start rotating anyway because this is when the schedule starts getting tougher. Back 4, Justin Morrow, left back, center backs, Mavinga and Saman. Right back, Richie Larea because Alro is hurt. Midfield, I would say 4-4-1-1, yeah. Midfield, Jonathan Osorio, Marky Delgado, Michael Bradley, Nick De Leon, Alejandro Pozuelo behind Josie Altidore. A 4-4-1-1 formation for Toronto FC tomorrow is what I'm predicting. No changes to the lineup besides Saman for Moore and Westberg for Bono for Westberg. Larea will start again because I think Larea had a great game last weekend. And here's my second part of the video, unannounced, but I think this needs to be said. Kansas City loses to Monterrey in the CONCACAF Champions League 10-2 on aggregate. 10-2 on aggregate in 2 games, blood. 10-2 on aggregate. Point being is, how is MLS going to close the gap against Liga MX? That's the big question everybody's been asking. That's the big question everybody wants to know the answer to. And you're either getting crazy people like Grant Wall saying, spend more money. This wasn't about money. Kansas City blew up themselves. Kansas City lost it themselves. They didn't play hard enough. And oh, by the way, Kansas City, you're supposed to have 3 DPs. And what I mean 3 DPs, not Johnny Russell and 2 homegrown no-names. I mean getting players who could actually put in a job for you. Look at how Toronto did it. This is how you win. It's not grow homegrown players. No, it's not. It's not. Now, yes, does MLS need to spend more money? Yes. But this is not what the Kansas City loss was about. It's not about the money. This time, it's not about the money. They got humiliated over 2 legs. It's not about the money. It's about the way they put their roster together. You know why they were so disparate from Monterrey roster payout, their budget? That's because they home grow all their players. The only DP they have worth something, and he wasn't even a name until he got to Kansas City, was Johnny Russell. But he was at least a Scottish, European sort of name, kind of like Alejandro Pozuelo, but just not as good. The dude was basically a nobody, but he was more of a somebody than two other guys that got his DPs. Homegrown players don't work. I'm sorry. Nobody cares about homegrown players. Homegrown players don't work. That only happens a couple of times. Look at Jonathan Osorio. The reason I'm not mad that TFC Academy sucks and TFC 2 sucks is because they have the money to spend on players. They have the money to spend for TAM. They have the money to spend for DPs. I don't care about my youth setup at all. Do I like to watch them play to support them? Yes. But do I think they're going to become anything? Maybe somebody special like Jacob Schaffelberg or Griffin Dorsey. But is there anybody? No. Because this is not what, if you want to win in CONCACAF, if you want to win CONCACAF Champions League as an MLS club, at first, you need to have a team who can actually win. Like last year with Toronto. Like what Atlanta could have been if Tata would have stayed. That's the team you need, not Kansas City. And I like Kansas City for a couple of reasons. They have nice fans and other reasons. Their stadium's nice. They have nice fans. They were nice to me. I respect them. It's a Western Conference thing. We don't have problems with them. But, and other reasons. But, personal reasons too. Not because I live close to them. No, it's not. You could guess that one, I'm sure. But, they're a deep second, Toronto then Kansas City. But did it suck for me to watch those two legs? That's why I'm passionate about the subject, because I have a respect for Kansas City. I think they're a good team. But you don't win with homegrown players. Shut up about that. It never worked and it never will. You can never win with homegrown players. Look at TFC. Look at Atlanta. You know why the Red Bulls didn't win CONCACAF? Because they couldn't break down Chivas, and they have homegrown players. Oh, and look at what happened to them against Santos. You can't win with homegrown players. That is the worst idea ever. Now, does MLS need to spend more money? Yes. Does Toronto, if Toronto could spend freely amounts of money, could they win CONCACAF every year? You bet. They would. They will. Because they're that good with a salary cap. They're this good with a salary cap. Look at what they could be without a salary cap. They would be freaking amazing. They would be mind-blowing. If they're already mind-blowing in the terms of MLS, screw parity, screw the Philadelphias of the world, screw the New Englands of the world, screw the crap teams of the world, screw the cheap owners of the world. I want to win. And I'd rather win with a super luxury tax squad and a super squad than have a chance to lose with a really great squad and have to grind it out like we did last year. What I want to see is Toronto FC and every team be able to pay how much they want. I don't care about the crap teams like New England, Philadelphia, San Jose. Well, they may spend because of Almeida, but you get my point. I don't care about the cheap owners. I don't care about the cheap teams. I care about my team. I care about my club that I broke my back for since 2007. And I live in St. Louis, Missouri. I care about Toronto FC. I don't care about Philadelphia Union and them wanting to keep a salary cap because, oh, we want to keep parity. We don't want to look horrible. Well, you know what? Stick it. Stick it. Stick it. I don't care about you. I don't care about, well, in this case, I don't care about Robert Kraft. Stick it. I want to win CONCACAF, and I want to stomp the yard. MLS needs to have their team spend more money. If you don't want to keep up, fine. Stick it. Get out. Go to USL. This league doesn't need the training wheels no more. Garber, this league does not need the training wheels no more. You have teams who can win it all. Toronto FC, Atlanta United, when they get their stuff together. New York Red Bulls, if they could spend some money, because I know Red Bull would spend some money. New York City FC, because they got some Saudi oil money. They would spend. LAFC, you know they'd spend. Stop caring about those stupid teams who don't want to spend money, because this is not what the league should be ran upon. This league does not have training wheels no more. This league does not need training wheels. It never did, but it sure doesn't now. Stick it if you want to be cheap. Go to USL. Nobody cared about you in the first place because nobody goes to your games. Get out of my league. Get out of my federation. And leave the winning to Toronto, or leave the winning to a team who actually deserves it. Parity is the worst thing that this league could ever have. Spend more money. Let the teams who actually want to win get the players who they need. Grant Wall was right. Spend more money. But the Kansas City match or loss was not because of money. It was because they play players that are homegrown. Now, you could say homegrown players are good. Yeah, Jonathan Osorio, you're right. But most homegrown players do not get to that level. Daniel Shallowy is at that level for Kansas City. But who else? Let me tell you something. You need to spend more money and forget the homegrown players. That, you'll win CONCACAF Champions League. Look at how Toronto did it. That's all, or almost did it. That's what I'm saying. Thank you for watching my preview. I'm sorry I got a little bit long-winded, but I got a little bit passionate there. Please, MLS, let the teams spend more money, because we need to spend more money. Thank you for watching. I'm out. If you want to share it, share it. If you liked it, like it. If you liked it, subscribe. Say whatever you want to say in the comments. I'm here. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Peace.